Hello students, this video is about aphid rails in gymnosperm. Students, aphid rails belongs to division Gnetophyta or class Gnetopsida, which comprises main three orders. Means Gnetophyta is comprises of aphid rails, gnetales and belvischiales. Each of these comprises only one family and one genus. All are placed in division Gnetophyta or class Gnetopsida as they share certain characteristics. But at the same time, there also exist some significant differences. That's why they are categorized into three different orders. The existence of gnetophytes in the fossil record has been based primarily upon the presence of pollen grains which resemble that of Ephedra and Belvischia. Leafy shoot, seedlings and microstobili similar to Belvischia from the early Cretaceous have been found associated with the Belvischia type pollens. Gnetophyta is mainly characterized by vessels in xylem. Dioecious strobili means both male and female are present on the separate plant. They consist of bracts, in the axil of which are the reproductive structure, which have been likened to the flowers of the angiosperm. So you can recall gnetophytes as the plants with basals, dioecious strobiles, having brackets in them, and they are likened or have flower-like cones. Students, as Gnetophyta is divided into three main orders, that is aphid rails, gnetales and belvischiale. Aphid rails are represented by shrub to small tree with small leaves having 2 to 3 veins. Cones are mature which often become fleshy and brightly colored. As you can see here, red color cones in Ephedra fragalis. They have one family, that is Aphidraceae, and one genus, that is Ephedra, which have 65 species. While gnetales are mostly vines with a very few trees, large flat leaves that have reticulate venation. Seeds are again brightly colored and have one family, that is Gnetaceae, and one genus Gnetum, and contain 60 species. You can see image of Gnetum here. Third one is Belvischiales. These are represented by two immense permanent leaves which become split and frayed with age. Seeds with wing-like extensions that made in dispersal, restricted to the Namib Desert of Africa and vicinity. Means they are endemic to Africa and they are present in this particular region only. Again, they have one family, that is Welwitschia, and one member, that is Welwitschia mirabilis, as you can see in this image. So this is about Gnetophyta, which comprises aphid rail, gnetales and Welwitschia. And in this video, we are going through aphid rails in detail. So students, as I explained to you earlier, aphid rail is a order in the Gnetophyta, and it is known to have shrub to small tree with small leaves, 2 to 3 veins, mature cone which often become fleshy and colored, one family Aphidraceae and one genus Ephedra, with having 65 species. Students, Aphidraceae are adapted to extreme arid region, growing often in high sunny habitat and occur as high as 4,000 meter above sea level in both the Andes and the Himalayas. The family Aphidraceae, of which Ephedra is the only genus, generally shrubs, sometimes climbing vines, are rarely small trees, members of the genus, frequently spread by use of rhizome. You can see here image of Ephedra fragalis. It bears pollen which are yellow in color. Students, Ephedra is an upstanding bushy bush that can grow up to 60 centimeter high, as you can see in this image. Ephedra is an evergreen shrub-like plant native to Central Asia and Mongolia. It also grows in southwestern United States and commonly called as giant pine, giant fir, Mormon tea or Braham tea. It is the only genus in family Aphedraceae and order Aphedrales. Students, some species grow in dry climate over a wide area of northern hemisphere including North America, Europe, North Africa and Southwest Central Asia. 8 species of Ephedra are known from India. Some of the common Indian species are Ephedra intermedia, Ephedra gerardiana, Ephedra saxatilis and Ephedra foliata. 3 species, that is Ephedra intermedia, Ephedra gerardiana and Ephedra foliata, are shown in the slide. These species are distributed in dry parts of the Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and parts of Kashmir to Sikkim. Morphology. Next is evolutionary history. Students, the family Aphedraceae was first described in 1829 by Dumbartier. The oldest known member of the genus are from the early Cretaceous, with records being known from the Aptian alluvium of the Argentina. Next is morphology. Students, plant body is sporophytic and shows xerophytic character. You know very well, xerophytic character are shown by those plants which grow in water deficient region. And main geophytic characters are reduction in the shape or size of the leaf. Mostly the plants in Ephedra are woody shrub. A very few species are lianas, that is woody climber, and some species grow into a small tree. Shrubby plant body usually remain less than 2 meters in height in most of the species. Chamberlain mentioned that Ephedra is a short-lived plant. It resembles Equisetum in its external morphology. In some species, its height goes up to several meters, and plant body can be differentiated into 3 parts, that is stem, root and leaves. Root and stem. There is a prominent underground taproot system. Later on, adventitious roots develop. Many root hairs are present, but there is no mycorrhizae. The stems are green and photosynthetic. The equisetum, the stem is green, ribbed branch, flattened and differentiated into nodes and internodes. It performs the function of photosynthesis and may be called as phylloclad. You know very well that phylloclad term is given when photosynthesis is performed by the stem. The branches arises from the axillary buds and therefore in pairs of 3 or 4 according to number of the scaly leaves at the nodes in different species. Branches are also green and differentiated into nodes and internodes. Student, you can see here image of Ephedra asper. Stem is with nodes and internodes. This image is of Ephedra fasciculata which wears yellow cone. Students, in these images you can clearly see that stem and branches are green in color while leaves are reduced to the scale leaves and they are usually present at the nodes. So leaves are small, scaly, present in pairs at the node and are arranged in opposite decussate manner. These leaves unite at the base to form a basal sheath. Each leaf contains 2 unbranched parallel veins. They are so minute that they are of no use, unable to perform prominent photosynthesis. The function of photosynthesis is that's why carried out by green stem. As true foliose leaves are absent. Students, you can see here scale leaves which are present at the nodes and at the base they are fused to form sheath. As leaves are opposite or whorled and the scale-like leaves fuse to form sheath at the base, this which often shed after development. There are also no resin canals. Next is cone or reproductive structure. Students, the plant are mostly dioecious, means they bear both male and female on the separate plant. You can see in these images detail of the male cone. First one is with the male strobilus. Second is with the enlarged image of microsporophyll which bear microsporangia. And they are also bear bracket, which is again the characteristic feature of Chnitophyta. Again you can see male cone in detail with having cone axis, microsporangia, perianth as well as brackets. In next image you can see microsporangium in enlarged image, and you can also see tapetum and microspore which are developed in the microsporangium. In last image you can see enlarged structure of microsporangium which wears microsporangia, stalk, perianth and bracket. Students, female strobili also occur in whorls with bracket which fuse around the single ovule. Is seed of Ephedra ciliata. Here are some more images showing the reproductive parts. You can see Ephedra distachya that wear red color cones with the seeds. Pollen grains are yellow, while female cone which bear single ovule are green. After fertilization they appear red in color. Second is image of Ephedra thoriana that wear yellow color cone. Next is anatomy in Ephedra. You can see in this image young stem which show outline of ridges and grooves. Outermost layer is epidermis bonded by cuticle, and you can see some sunken stomata are there, that is a xerophytic character, and a patch of sclerenchyma that is for the strength, and chlorenchyma due to which it can perform the photosynthesis. Students, many intracellular species are also present in this region. Some sclerenchyma patches are distributed in the green region, and vascular cylinder is endark siphonostyl. You know very well, endark means xylem present toward the center. In mature stem, you will find very prominent vessels which is characteristic feature of division Chnitophyta or Ephedrals. Resin canals are absent and pith is parenchymatous. So you can see three types of tissues, that is sclerenchyma, chlorenchyma and parenchyma in mature stem of the Ephedra. Students, next is TS of leaf. As you know, leaves are highly reduced, but it is again bonded by cuticle and bear sunken stomata, that is xerophytic characters of the Ephedrals. Vascular bundles are 2 in number and some air spaces are there. Chlorophyll is also there in the form of palisade and spongy parenchyma, so little extent of photosynthesis is performed by the leaf. Last is economic importance of Ephedra or the order Ephedrals. Students, an alkaloid ephedrine is obtained from Ephedra giardiana, Ephedra intermedia and Ephedra nabrodensis. It is used in the preparation of medicines that cure cough, bronchitis, asthma and hay fever. Due to this Ephedra become very important genus of the gymnosperm. It's quite often asked in the examination. Tincture of Ephedra giardiana is also used as a cardiac and circulatory stimulant. Decoction of the stem and root is used to cure rheumatism and syphilis. The juice of worry is used to cure respiratory disorder. Mormon tea is brewed from the species of Ephedra in southwestern United States. Rhizome of Ephedra giardiana is used as a fuel by people of the Tibet. Some species are grown as an ornamental plant. Students, Ephedra antisyphilitica is used to cure rheumatism. So that's all about the order Ephedrines or genus Ephedra. I hope you understood this topic. Thank you for listening.